Hi, welcome to this week's Dragonblade Authors Unplugged. I'm so excited. I get to talk to J.R. Salisbury today and Tabetha Waite. Ladies, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
It's always fun to have new faces. So we're going to dive right in and talk about J.R.'s book, which releases at the end of the week. And it is The Forgotten Spare. I love the title for this one. And it's book 3 in the Endless Love series. Can you tell us about this one?
Okay, this one in the book before, which was Duke's Love, we came across Arthur. Well, Arthur has a twin who is
Fun.
the younger twin, but he has always had problems. In fact, he was probably, you wouldn't call him autistic. He was on the spectrum, but not autistic. And his father had put him to stay with some friends of his. And when the father passes away, the son doesn't do with having to keep Charles around. So Charles and Arthur get together, and Arthur ends up taking him home. And he's never really been around a lot of people. The people in crowds kind of freak him out. And it's a little bit about how he progresses into learning what life really is.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, because he had no knowledge of anything except what he knew growing up. Then he meets through Arthur, Daphne, Lady Catherine Beckman, and he doesn't understand what he's feeling for her, and it's just a matter of watching him grow as a human and how everybody within his niche has helped him get to, he feels like he could marry her. And oh yes, and one thing I left out, he writes criminal novels, mystery novels that he had done.
Oh, very cool.
And that was how he had part, was because he had them published and the money went to him. So that was a fun thing because I tracked that a little bit. Catherine is a pianist, a very good one, and that is one thing that they have in common, is they both play.
Oh, cool.
So I guess that's about it in a nutshell.
That's enough. There's a lot of interesting things there.
It was a fun book to write.
The novel within the novel.
Yeah, it was fun to write. Yeah.
How many more are in the series?
Yeah. Pardon?
How many more in the series?
I've got one more. I could go on, extend it, but I've got one more that should be out in February.
Oh, cool. So we don't have to wait very long.
So
awesome.
No. We've been them out. So I hate to see it end. Oh yes, and you remember Sam from the last book? Well, Charles isn't quite sure what to think about the parrot, and of course the parrot doesn't know what to think of him because he looks just like Arthur.
I bet that would be confusing for the parrot. I bet that would be confusing for the parrot. Huh. Well, it sounds like big fun, and I'm glad we don't have to wait too long for the next book in the series either. So
yeah, just a couple days.
So the next book that comes out, going backwards, is of Dukes and Forbidden Words, and this is a brand new series from Sandra Succo, and it is Dashing Rogues and Ruined Librarians. I love the title of this because, like, the idea of a ruined librarian is like just as good as a naughty librarian, and that that is the kind of series I want to read. So we'll catch up with Sandra on another time, but I'll make sure I put the link in the comments so you can grab it if you haven't gotten it already. But then the other book that came out this week is Tabetha's book, and it's Cold Hearted Lion, which is, of course, a Lion's Den book. Tabetha, can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, that actually came out today. So I was like, oh, it's always like heart stopping whenever you're like, oh yeah, I forget today's release day. We're not waiting for it anymore. It's here. So Cold Hearted Lion is it's my second Lion's Den book, and it's my second Dragonblade title. So I have to say that as many books are in the series, the readers are just awesome when it comes to that. They absolutely love the Lion's Den series. Every time they're like, oh, a new one's coming out, a new one's coming out. Like it's just really infectious. And so I just had to say that for one. So Cold Hearted Lion. So my first book with the Lion's Den was called Lion's Roar. And so there was like one, there was like a stepbrother, and that one I was like, God, he's so nasty. He's just awful. And somebody actually, and I cannot remember who it was, and I felt so bad for that because I was going to dedicate the book to her, but she was like, man, kind of like to read Benjamin's story. So I was like, which granted, we're gonna have like a redemption story.
Redemption arc. We love a good redemption arc.
Yes, and like it's like somebody that you just can't stand. You're like, how can I ever like them? And so that's where Cold Hearted Lion came from, and that's why I was thinking of the name. I was like, he's so cold hearted, and the guy just has like a smirk on his face and just But he has a girl that is Catherine that is literally suits him perfect because they kind of go on. It's like a frenemies kind of frenemies to lovers is what I call it almost. It's an arranged marriage. She is increasing. So we all know what that means. Pregnant. Okay. So, but she is increasing with a baby, and the mother is not very happy because it was not somebody that they would have chosen. It was out of wedlock and stuff. So they want to get her married off quick. So Mrs. Deb Lyon, of course, they go and talk to her and ask for her help. She's like, oh, yeah, I got somebody that's perfect in mind. So it's like the way they got together is like neither one really was sure that they wanted this union, but it's like, so Benjamin did not really like Mrs. Deb Lyon from the first book. So he's kind of got something out for her. And then, of course, Catherine's like, yeah, she interfered and I didn't need her to. Or that's what she thinks. And so, because she's kind of resentful, of course, over this arranged marriage that's going on. So they kind of get together and decide we're going to go after Mrs. Deb Lyon. Of course, that never happens because she's above reproach. I mean, this is Mrs. Deb Lyon we're talking about. So, but yeah, I thought it would be a little different. That a lot of people are probably like very thankful for her help and her. But I was like, what about if a couple was like resentful of it? So
yeah, stuck in a marriage you don't want to be stuck in.
Right, and blame the person that helped to bring about the solution as opposed to so they have to grow and realize, hey, it's not really her fault. We've made mistakes, but we're coming to find love with each other. So it kind of gets better after that.
So what was it like writing a hero that had such a heavy redemption arc? That was somebody that you really didn't like before you started this book?
I've actually written a story. Oh, and I tell you what, so I've written more than 50 books. So sometimes my characters all kind of spin around in my head. But and I'm sure it was another novella that I had written. It was Bedeviling Lord Coxford, I believe was the title, but it was the heroine in the story. It was like somebody that was not very likable at all, and it was trying to redeem her as well. So I mean, I've kind of gone down that path before because I think it's important, because as they find love and allow love into their heart and everything with this other person, then it does change them over time, and they start to act in a manner that's selfless. And so yeah,
very cool. Very cool. Well, since you've written so many books, and I know JR, you've written quite a lot as well. Can we talk a little bit about writing process? How you structure your day? Like, what do you do first? How do you plot out your books? Do you have a word count you hit every day? Got everybody jumping in. They're just like so eager to talk about it. I just love it.
I'm letting her. I'll let her jump in.
JR, what about you? Do you have a word count you try to hit?
I usually.
Do you have a word count
I
you
usually
try to
know
hit
when I
every day?
go in to write. Yeah, and it's pretty low, but what I do is I'll do X amount of words, then get up away from it for a while, go do something else, and then do the same amount until I've got word count. And it works better for me. I find my writing's better if I do it that way rather than sit there and write 5,000 words. And
Yeah, like your brain needs a break in between.
it's not always. Yeah. It's not always plotted out. It might be that I just start because of where I finished, and it just keeps going. Once I get started, the flow just comes natural. So, and I usually write about 7 days a week.
Oh wow! So weekends too.
So. Oh yeah. There's sometimes when I get busy during the week, well, I work part-time still, that I just can't wrap my head around it. So if I have the next day off, I try to double what I did. But over Thanksgiving, I was writing every day because I had a huge stretch of time.
Do you give yourself space between books, or
because
do you
I've got
go
to, I
from one
finished. It depends on lines. Like my deadline was right around Thanksgiving, so I got it done. Now this one won't be. I don't think it's due until February. I'll have to recheck my schedule. But yeah, and I'm in one of those anthologies that Catherine's put together. That'll come out next year. So I got to start on that. And I've got to get an idea for it. So I got to play with it for a couple of days before I actually start.
Now, and I think the deadlines for
novella, and
those
I haven't written a novella. So that's usually, and I've got another one that started that it's not going to, I may put it out myself. I don't know yet. It depends on how it goes, but that'll be a new series.
Okay, cool.
Unless we decide to go and add on to this one.
Tabetha, what about you? Do you have
and this is, well, no, it's not the first series. It's the second series that where everybody's related and follows over each book.
Yeah, that gives you kind of a natural arc and a natural ending place for things too. Very cool. Tabetha, what about you? Do you have a special way you go about your writing day?
Okay, so like I usually don't plot anything ahead of time. I'm like a total pantser. So sometimes that could get me into trouble because as much as I try to like write down information, sometimes I'm like, what happened? So then I have to go back and look, and that's where editors are very nice because they're like, this part, I'm like, so it's just like I get an idea and I run with it kind of thing. So since I work full time hours, so it used to be that because I've written for about 9 years. Next year will be my 10-year mark as being published. So course, I've written for way before that because I wanted to be an author since I was 9. So it's like I've got like
Oh,
boxes of stories
wow.
and stuff out there. But so my for the longest time, I was like, okay, I'm writing 2,000 words a night, so make it 10,000 words a week. I tried not to write on weekends if possible. But sometimes if like, she said if life gets in the way or you just can't think about something or, you got something going on, so you kind of have to make up that time on the weekend. So I've done that. As soon as I'm done with one story, I usually start, it's like, okay,
Oh, right
chapter
away.
1,
Mhm.
ready to go for the next one. Like I just try to keep the momentum going. So, but yeah, that's usually how I do stuff. Depending on I could usually get if I stayed on track and did my word count during the week, I could usually get a novel, an 80,000 word novel done in 2 months.
Mhm.
So
That's quite a pace.
yeah. Yeah, I've kind of had to slow down a little bit because of that, because it was just getting like really overwhelming, just because I'm working all day and coming home and in my office, so it's like I felt like I was in the office all the time.
Yeah.
And
That screen
so
time gets rough. Yeah, like
yeah.
all the screen stuff gets rough.
Well, and my girls were still home, but my youngest graduated high school in May. So, so I have an empty nest now.
Oh, wow.
So it's my dog. I have my
Mhm.
dog. So I have her, of course, and my husband. So, uh, and my dog likes to come into my office. She has like she has toys and like a rawhide and that
Mhm.
kind of stuff in here, but sometimes she'll just sit there and just stare at me and I'm like, I'm trying to type, what are you doing? She's like such a little toddler, and I'm like, and then she'll like make a noise at me and I'm like, stop it. So
What's her name?
Snickers.
Oh, it's a great name for a dog.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
great
she's a
name.
long-haired Dachshund, so she's
Oh,
got like
that's
the
a
dark
perfect name
coloring and
for a
stuff, like the little
dachshund.
eyebrows, and
Mhm.
yeah, she's a sweetie. So
Oh, I think I heard her.
no, that may have been there. She's quiet right now. I have my office door shut, and I said, "Stay with Daddy for a while," so because Mommy has to go. And I literally, I mean, like I wrap her up in a blanket at night, and oh my gosh, she's such my fur
Oh
baby.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. JR, do you have a pet?
Oh yes, I've got a almost 2-year-old,
Oh,
and
wow.
he's a he's a mess.
Oh,
I
they're so cute.
I lost my first I lost my first one about 2 years ago, and he was almost 20 years old. So he
Oh,
was
wow.
we've been
Wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
they can live to be quite old. So
Oh, I had no idea.
I waited about a yeah, I waited about a year and got him from the same woman I had gotten my last one from, and he still thinks he's the pup.
What's
So,
his name?
and his Sammy,
Oh, cool.
and how
Very
we
cool.
came up with the name was his grandmama, the woman who bred him. He said, "Give me a list of names, and I'll try them on him. Which one it likes?" Our response, well, he responded to Sammy. So,
Oh, very cool. Cool.
he's
I miss
smart as a
having
whip
a
too.
pet. Yeah. Well, it's like we always think of writers with cats, but writers with dogs is the same, it's like the same thing. Very cool.
Well, I've got 2 of them too.
Oh, you have 2 cats too? Yeah. I love seeing everybody's
Yes,
cats.
one's part time. They're both older, but Sammy has learned to. I feed them up on top of a table that's just their table. He had to jump up on their cat
No.
condo, which is the bigger one, so she can jump up. and get up on the table because he knows what they're doing up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to watch him on that.
Goodness. Catherine has like Siamese kind of cats, but the puppy ones. And when we were out the last time, she had just gotten them
Himalayans.
shaved, and they had like, Himalayas. That's it. And they had the big, like they looked like little lions because they had the big puffy heads and their bodies were clipped close. And I just like thought they were just the cutest things. So that's very cool. I miss having a pet. I think it's lovely to be able to see everybody else's cats and get to hear about them too. So, awesome. So what's your favorite part of the book? Tabetha, you talked about going from one book right to another. Do you have a time within the story that you like better than the others? Are you a beginning person when everything's new, or a middle person when you know what's going on, or the end when you can see when it's going to be done?
I like the beginning and the end because it's like it's exciting then, and then the end it's like, oh, you're wrapping everything up. The middle sometimes I'm like, I have to sit there and stare at it and be like, okay, what are we doing? What is the problem that that we have to find a solution to and everything. So sometimes, I mean, I'm not going to say writer's block, but I mean, it's just a small hurdle that I have to get past sometimes. Yeah, it's just that little middle conflict because it's like, wait a minute, I don't want things to be resolved too quickly. I got to let the relationship progress a little bit. So, yeah.
Believable conflict is hard.
Right.
Because it can't be something that that the reader is just going, would you please just talk to each other? Would you just, just talk to each other? It has to be something that's actually big enough to carry through the story. Jared, what about you? Do you have a particular part of the book that you like best?
No, I get lost in the middle of a book when I'm writing. When I do that, as far as going another book, now I have this time because I had the and I was reading it yesterday to work on it, and I'm going to rip out half of what I put because it needs to farther into the book and
that hurts
at the beginning.
Well,
it wasn't fortunately not too much, but I just thought, no, this has to wait for a while.
Yeah, it's funny though because I think when you go wrong, the writing kind of stops. Like you're kind of stuttering and you can't figure out why you're stuttering, and it's usually because there's something got twisted along the way, and it's not the way it actually ought to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get your characters first or your plots first?
I had that.
No, go ahead.
Usually my characters. I might have a vague idea of what I want to write it, how I want to write it, but usually the characters that'll pop up first. Because then I have to write everything down in a notebook so I don't forget.
Yeah. You too, Tabetha, are you a character person?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pardon?
And like you said, I might have an idea of like a general idea of where I would like the story to go, but then they come in and just take over, and I'm like, okay, I'm just dictating your story. Then I always say my characters tell me where the story's headed. So yeah.
Jan Moran always talks about that, about her characters talking to her and telling her which way to go.
Yeah. It's like, no, but you guys need to do this. No. All right, fine. I guess you're doing that.
What about research? Do you spend a lot of time researching the time periods you write in?
I do. I am always looking for something, especially like with like certain sayings and stuff. Like I like to put like different sayings, and I'm like, wait a minute, when did that come out? Or certain things like that. The most I ever put in on research for a book, it was called Behind a Moonlit Veil, and it was a Jack the Ripper retelling. And so I was pulling from all kinds of stuff, and I swear I felt like I had notes and everything everywhere. So, but when it comes to Regency, I mean, it's like I know my general, story, and I've written more of that because the other one was Victorian. So, and I was writing about a specific thing, so I wanted to bring that reality into the story. But most of the stuff is just from my head, and if I'm writing about the war or something, I try not to get too involved. I like, okay, what took place on this day, and then just kind of try to draw from there.
I think there's a thing that the writer needs to know stuff that the reader doesn't necessarily need to read, so that there's a line between, like researching because you need to have the basis to be able to write in that time period versus what you could.
And they call historical romance sometimes historical romantasy because it's like if it went into every historical detail. I mean, we do take liberties sometimes, and I usually try to put a note. Okay, this is
like an author's note.
Yeah, right, exactly, and I think that makes a big difference for the readers, and they're reading it for entertainment too. If they wanted like a true history lesson, then there's there's lots of history books and stuff out there that are very good resources. But I mean, the main thing is we focus on the romance, we focus on the main characters.
JR, what about you? Do you do a lot of research into your time period?
Overly, but since it's Victorian, it's so close being modern era that there's some things that I have to, like this book, or not this book that I'm putting out this Friday, but the next one. I use the prince, who is quite the character, I understand, but he shows up a bit, so you have to make sure that.
Yeah, because we don't want to pull the readers out of the story.
Yeah, but I will do research to make sure. If I think it's one way, I'll go and research it, make sure that I'm right.
Yeah. And it's so much easier to do that now than it used to be, too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No more checking to the library or for the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah. Remember those days.
Awesome. Well, Daphne Quinn also had a book that came out this week, and it's the Valford Viscount, and it's book 3 in the Vauxhall Gardens. I always want to say it Vauxhall Gardens, and it's not. It's Vauxhall Gardens. So I'll make sure I pop that in the link, along with all the books. If you haven't gotten your books yet, you want to grab them. Dragonblade books are the best when they very, very first go on pre-orders. You want to grab them right away. If not, you can read in Kindle Unlimited. Ladies, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I really appreciate it. It was lovely having a chance to hear about your stories.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Thanks.